Good afternoon. In today's episode of Brains Behind the Lab Coat, we are interested in promoting a health status with nutrition. With regards to that, we have someone who reads clinical nutrition and dietetics. She would introduce herself and then tell us more about the program.
Okay, so my name is Samuella Takyi, and I'm a clinical nutrition and dietetics student, final year, and that is under the Department of Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics.
All right. That's a brief introduction. We go ahead with the questions I have for her. First of all, I'll ask you what motivated you to choose the program or opt for clinical nutrition and dietetics?
Okay, so after I finished university, I wanted a course that merges health and then nutrition. I've always wanted to work in the health sector, so I found out that clinical nutrition is a course that is more or less nutrition, and then you can also work in the health sector as well.
All right, that's fine. So, since you've had interest since you completed SHS and then you've taken the course to final year, what are some of the courses you've developed interest in it, and then, if possible, talk briefly about it?
Okay, so one of the courses, yeah, a lot, but I love pathology. Pathology has to do with business and how it occurs in the normal people, and also physiology. Physiology has to do with how the human system works, and also immunology, public health, epidemiology. Yeah, I love that courses.
Okay, so you've talked about your interests, such as pathology, immunology, epidemiology, public health, and then immunology, and physiology as well. So, which of them are you going to talk briefly about? Because I think for me, I'm interested in the pathology aspect, where it talks about diseases and how it occurs. So, if you can pick any and then, I mean, a maximum of three, a minimum of two, you talk about it briefly.
The topics.
No, the courses.
Oh, okay, the courses.
Yeah, so you mentioned pathology, immunology, epidemiology, public health, physiology. So you can pick a minimum of three, a maximum of two. Then you talk briefly about it.
All right, so let me talk about pathology.
All right.
So with pathology, we study how the disease occurs in the human system.
Okay.
So we learn about how chronic diseases occur, how acute, how chronic inflammation occurs, acute inflammation, necrosis, how tumors occur, things like that. And also we look at how the body functions under such a condition. So for example, the body is in a chronic state, how does it function? If the body is going through some kind of stress, how does it function? That is all about pathology.
Interesting. Hold on for now.
Okay.
You mentioned acute chronic necrosis. I mean, break it down.
Okay.
I don't understand acute. I don't understand chronic. I don't understand necrosis. What do you mean?
So with so necrosis is like end stage, like the end stage of the disease, like cancer.
Okay, so do you mean after the chronic and then the acute form has happened and then we move to necrosis?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So with necrosis, nothing can be done again.
More or less.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so with pathology, it talks about diseases and how they occur in the body. But then how does this relate to nutrition? So does it mean the food you eat has an impact on the diseases that occur in your body?
Yes, and also the recovery process as well.
Okay, so can you say something with regards to emerging the disease, which is the pathology, and then the nutrition as well? Something brief.
Okay, so for example, we learn about certain components in our diets that can help treat or manage the disease occurrence in the body.
Example.
So, for example, omega-3 fatty acids, omega-6 fatty acids. We have components in this such as phytochemicals that have some of them have anti-cancer properties.
Oh, okay, so
Yes.
when you take phytochemicals, for example, they have anti-cancer properties, so they can help fight cancer.
Exactly.
Okay, and the omega-3.
Fatty
In fact, you should
acids.
help me. I'm not there.
Okay.
So you should be saying something.
And then also some antioxidants as well, like
Okay.
vitamin C, vitamin E. They are all cancer protective.
Okay, so that's with regards to the recovery aspects.
Yes.
Okay, so how does nutrition has impact with regards to disease occurrence?
Okay, so when it comes to nutrition, the diet and our food intake plays a very significant role
Okay.
in disease outcomes. And it's not only about nutrition though. There are other factors that come into play like lifestyle, genetics and all that.
Okay.
But nutrition plays a very vital role in disease outcome.
Okay. Interesting. Can you say something small? For maybe you give an example how nutrition plays a major role in disease outcome. So maybe you taking this to this. Maybe you're taking a lot of fats, it causes obesity. I'm taking a lot. I mean, give an example.
Okay, so for example, if I take in a lot of refined carbohydrates,
Okay.
I don't exercise, I like to eat fatty food, I have a higher chance of getting cardiovascular disease and then also getting type 2 diabetes.
Interesting. So from our dietetics, you can get type 2 diabetes, you can get cardiovascular diseases with regards to eating a lot of refined carbohydrates.
Yes.
That's very fine. Let's move ahead with the next question. And then I would also like to ask, what do you hope to gain after pursuing this program? Maybe your aspirations.
Okay, apart from pursuing a degree, I also would like to venture into research.
Interesting.
That's something I love.
Yeah. Okay. So apart from that, you would love to venture into research. Fine. So as a student for 4 years, have you had any interest in taking any research topics or exploring through nutrition and dietetics to write about papers or something? Tell us something.
Yeah, there are some areas I would like to research as well, like the courses that you are not.
Yeah.
In terms of pathology, I would like to know certain diseases and then how nutrition can help to treat or manage diseases. We know that when it comes to cancer, people think cancer cannot be cured.
Yeah.
But some are coming up with, some have written papers about using diets to cure cancer. So those are some of the areas I would like to mention.
Okay. Let's look out for her. She's an actual researcher. She says we are not going to fight cancer with any chemo, but then also we can use food as well. And I think it can happen. It's possible in fact because our diets, our lifestyle.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's move on to the next question. How do you plan to stay updated in latest research work as a student? Since you would love to research, how do you try to keep yourself updated in latest research works?
Okay, one of the ways I can keep myself out, and I do it is by subscribing to research papers,
Okay.
research sites, and then also nutrition sites as well.
Okay, so since you've had a lot of exposure to read papers on nutrition, can you just briefly tell us one paper? Maybe I read about this. Briefly. So one example.
Okay, so in recent things that are coming up, we are trying to look at how to manage people with PCOS, that is persistent ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
You know that one is more has to do with food.
Yeah.
So there's been research that they are trying to use nutrition to manage people with PCOS.
Okay.
And people with PCOS have fertility issues.
Yeah.
So there's been some studies that show that putting people on ketogenic diet, people on ketos, put them on ketogenic diet, low carb diet, like not eating refined foods, they have a higher chance of um like the symptoms level comes with
Okay.
ketos.
Interesting. I think I've also learned something new. So with a recent paper she has studied or she has read, people with PCOS, and they are actually trying to manage them with ketogenic diets,
Yeah.
and also they shouldn't eat refined foods so that they would reduce the symptoms. I think I've also learned something new. Thank you for that.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
and then also as a student, I want to ask if you've encountered any challenge in reading the program. Oh no, but then first of all, let me ask: have you had any exposure at the hospital as an intern?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what happened.
Okay.
Something maybe as an intern, I experienced this with a patient. Okay, these are some of the things I came up with regards to the favorite courses I was taking. Yes, so you can tell us something.
So I really like the hospital experience because it actually exposes you to
Okay.
everything that you have been taught in class, and then you also have the chance to practice. So you have hands-on practice. You meet patients, you have to plan their diet. You have people with complex diseases, and then
Okay.
you have to make sure that the diet you are giving them doesn't interfere with some of the medications they are going to give and all. So it's actually a great experience with my institute.
Interesting. What are also some of the challenges you have faced or encountered in reading the program, and how did you manage it?
challenges. Some of the courses are actually bulky, very,
Okay.
very bulky. So one of the ways you can deal with that is that immediately the semester starts, you have to hit with everything. If you see your ratings in the end of the semester before you come and do it's not
Interesting. Okay, so she realized some of the courses are bulky. So as soon as the semester starts, she also starts to read to make things easy for her.
yeah.
And I think I've learned a lot with regards to the PCS as well. And I think we have to talk more on another episode. Anyway,
Sure.
thank you for having me here. Thank you too.